Welcome to the Liberace Mansion.
Welcome to Under the Vegas Sun, looking at the people, the events, and the news surrounding Las Vegas and the entire Vegas Valley. Hello, I'm Steve Schorr. We are live from the Liberace Mansion. Pianos, wonderful pianos. For Liberace in his life, it meant so much. It also meant a lot to those who he found, those became proteges of his. One of those gentlemen is Jere Ring, a man who has become famous in his own right. Today on our program, you'll be able to see that special talent that is Jere Ring. When we come back, you'll meet this very special man. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Keith Evans at the Lion Habitat Ranch. We'd like you to come out and visit our ranch. There's 38 lions, a giraffe that paints, ostriches, emus, and birds. We do school tours, general admission, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and behind-the-scenes tours every day of the week. Besides coming in as general admission, you can also pay extra to help our animals, and you can feed the giraffe. You can feed one of the lions, or you can have Ozzy paint a custom canvas for you. You can also buy Ozzy paintings in the gift shop. While we do our demonstrations at 12 and 2 of Ozzy painting, all those canvases are available for purchase. In addition to everything you can do here in person, you can find us on the website, lionhabitatranch.org, where you can make your reservations online or buy your paintings online. Thank you very much. Please come.
Hey, it's Mark Chinook from Monday's Dark, and you are watching Under the Vegas Sun with Steve Schorr.
Well, it says, if the shoe fits, buy two. Also, if the piano fits, play as much as you can. Once again, our very special guest, Jere Ring. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, so I'm really looking forward to this. So, first of all, this picture of you on the cover of this book is just a wonderful picture of you. There are a compilation. I don't know how many pictures. There's got to be 100 pictures within this book of famous people that you became involved in, that met you, that met Lee, you and Lee together. Your life would have been the same had that day when you were 26 years old that we talked about on the program the last week. Would your life have been the same?
Absolutely not. It may have been different. I've thought about that from time to time, but no, it wouldn't have. I would have found another channel. I can't imagine what I would have done. I was very fortunate that it happened when I was young, and then I've been able to live with that all my life. It's opened so many doors.
You know, I talked to some people that were here for the Liberace Fan Club Gala, and there was an interesting thing that they said, and I'm curious what your reaction is. They said that Liberace did not play piano. Liberace lived piano.
I would say that's pretty much true.
Really?
Yeah. But you know, it's something else. His piano, as it is with me, was a vehicle. His playing, because he did it so effortlessly, and the thing that amazed me about Lee, he was meticulous with the keyboard, with the piano. You never heard him hit a wrong note. I don't have that. You know, I cross over and take a snatch at one every once in a while, but many times it's intentional for the reaction.
Many times it's intentional.
Yeah, I do that because I have fun with it.
Right.
And my audience is kind of, well, he would take off, because he never really played, like we were talking about Rhapsody in Blue, he never played it from beginning to end. He would take snippets and incorporate it in, and he loved to, Two Little Fishies and Chopsticks.
Okay, stop right there.
Yeah.
Chopsticks is what I think every young person who's ever learned how to play piano, that's
with
it.
2 fingers.
With 2 fingers. It's the only thing I can play on piano. The only thing I can play on piano. Liberace made that into an art, made chopsticks into more than just the 2-finger sounds.
That kind of thing.
Exactly. He did that a lot with his music.
Yeah.
he was not just playing Gershwin or playing some popular song or playing a classic.
Well,
he made them all his own.
Yeah, he made his own interpretation.
You do the same thing.
Yeah. Much of it by default because I don't read music and I have to figure it out. So a lot of times they'll start playing one song and all of a sudden I'll think, what's going on here? And I'll be in another song. And it's sometimes I've never played before, something I've heard. And I've done that quite frequently. But Lee liked to give his own interpretation because in the beginning it caught the attention. People would listen, you know, and they would say, oh, that's different. And because he was different, he wasn't just sitting down and doing a rigid concert that most any artist could do. He gave it a flair, and he gave it a personal appeal, so his audiences would.
He gave it a power.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
He gave it a power, and whenever I would watch Liberace on stage, what I got out of it was not his flamboyant dress alone, but his flamboyance in playing the piano. He would raise his hands high off of the keys,
Drama.
and I would wonder, how are you going to hit the keys with your hands coming from this far up?
You know, another thing, because people often, when I do, years ago I did a costume in Halloween and I had rings, and people ask, how did he play with the
And they were heavy rings.
They were heavy, very heavy.
Heavy
and you know, I
rings.
had all these rings on one time. It was rather enhancing. You'd look down at your hands and they were all blinging, and I think that's part of it. He felt it empowered his hands. He had very large hands too. His fingers were, he used to wear
huge around.
Yes, he had the piano ring which he wore on this hand, dangled. When I put it on, dangled on my thumb. It was huge. And heavy.
And his forearms were I mean,
well,
his forearms were strong.
You know, when I was performing on a regular basis, I found that my upper body was, but you know, now that I'm 61 and pregnant, it doesn't go so much that way.
When you look back, you were a piano virtuoso at the time that you met him, 26 years old. You had a chance to play music with him, to learn from him. How has that made you now into the performer that you are?
Well, as far as learning from him, I have my own style, but I mostly tapped in on his excitement and his just the music capturing him, and you know, because he and I were similar in as much as we could walk into a room and sit down and just play.
Okay, so play a Jere Ring. Don't play Lee. Play a Jere Ring.
Oh, you really want me to?
Yeah, I
might get arrested.
Play a Jere Ring.
Oh my, where do I start? Okay. Well, that isn't right. This is the song that I auditioned for him. I think I played this for you once. I love a piano. I love a piano. I love to hear somebody play on a piano, a grand piano. It simply steals my heart away. See, I'm more of a singer than I am a player. I'm a singer who plays. I love a fine way to treat a Steinway. I love to run my fingers o'er the keys, the ivories, and with the pedal, I love to meddle when Paderewski comes my way. So delighted when I'm invited to hear that master genius play. Well, you can keep your fiddle, keep your bow, give me happy, wow, wow, wow. I love to stop right beside an upright or a high tone, baby, grand. Piano, I love a piano. I love to hear somebody play on a piano, a grand piano. It simply steals my heart away. on Steve Schorr's Yamaha. I love to run my fingers over the keys, the ivories, and with the pedal. I love to meddle when Liberace would come my way. I was always so delighted when I was invited to hear that master genius play. Well, you can keep your fiddle, keep your bow, give me a you know. I love to stop right, beside an upright, or a high-toned baby. It's fun.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if the audience caught it. I caught it. When you were playing, every once in a while, you would look at Liberace's picture.
Yeah. I mean, how amazing to be that and this and this and you know. The thing is, I don't think about it, and all of a sudden it hits me where I am, and because I tend to be a very spiritual person.
But it is. I mean, a lot of Jere Ring happened because of that individual.
And the other thing is, I constantly, especially these days, remind myself how fortunate am I that I had that exposure. Just, you know, like that. If it, like, I was saying, it only takes a moment. So
there is a portion of Lee. There is a portion of Lee that I think people loved so much. His ability to change at the piano, as we talked about earlier, his ability to go from chopsticks to Gershwin to you name it. When we come back, I'm going to take a break for a couple of seconds. When we come back, I would love for you to do one of the pieces that I loved of Lee, was his interpretation of Gershwin. So if you could think about it.
oh,
You can,
I'll think about it.
okay.
Okay.
We'll be right back. A little bit of Gershwin with Jere Ring, and yeah, he's still here, Liberace. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Eamon Springall of Stitched at the Cosmopolitan, and you're watching Under the Vegas Sun with Steve Schorr.
He sits at the piano and it's just playing. It's so much more than that. Welcome back, Jere Ring.
Thank you.
Okay. What I loved about Lee was that he wowed audiences.
Yeah, I did.
I was never at a show, and I don't think there was ever a show where people did not stand at the end of his performance. It was that experience that you gained from him. That was not just a man playing piano. It was a man entertaining. And I honestly believe that he was as much a great entertainer as he was a great musician.
Yeah, because you have no idea the number of people that I meet when they find out my affiliation with him that say, I never cared anything about seeing him, but when I saw him, I was just knocked over. Yeah. There were a lot of people that did that.
There were a lot of people that didn't know the man.
Right.
And I kind of believe as though when people now come on the cruise ships and they see entertaining will be Jere Ring, they go, who who's that? Why should I go? But yet when they go,
Yeah.
look at your eye sparkle. When
Yeah.
they go, it's the persona of you
Right.
that comes out.
And thanks to social media and so forth, people follow me now, and it's amazing the people that just. We saw you on a cruise ship. No, I mean from years ago. I have people come on now that say, "We saw you 20 years ago on the Regal Princess," and oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. But I make the friends, on the ships, and the rooms fill up. It's very flattering and very fun.
Before we took a break, I talked about, for me, the amazing part of Mr. Showmanship was not just his flamboyance, although I loved when he came on in his long capes and his amazing attire and the Rolls Royce and getting out on stage.
And there's a good story behind all of that.
It was a show.
Yeah.
It was a show.
Right.
But what I really loved was his ability to, as I said before, entertain.
Mm-hmm.
He would take pieces, and I don't know if he would ever play them totally through what was written originally, but he would create magic at the piano.
Part of that, Steve, was because he would take the part of compositions that he liked. He embraced the things that he liked, and the things he felt compelled and he felt here.
Gershwin was a favorite of his.
Yeah.
I know that. And I know it's very, very hard to ask somebody to play Gershwin without having to know well beforehand they're going to play Gershwin. But if you could you do a little bit of Gershwin that Lee loved so much?
It'll cost you, but I'll do it.
Of course, $5. You're on.
Yeah, that figure sticks in my head for some reason. Yeah. All right. Yeah, because like Lee, you would never hear him play the entire Gershwin Rhapsody in Blue, but he would take the bits that he liked. That identifies a song. Another snippet. Back to the Big ending. I'll clap for myself. That was great.
That was wonderful.
But you see, it went in and out of different songs. And
It did, and I gained a sense of so much pride that you have playing the piano. It's not just playing the piano. It's a certain amount of pride.
well, there is.
That you have.
There's it really worked me too. Oh, fan me. But it's something that I feel I share with Lee. Is he had joie de vivre. You know, he had a love of life. He just put his heart into everything he did. And I do too. I have that. I'm so appreciative of all that I have. That life itself, it's fabulous. And when you sit down and you have an ability like this, it goes in and comes out, and you know what I mean? It's just there.
I still
Takes on a life of its own.
I'm still amazed in hearing what you just did, knowing that you cannot read music, knowing that you play by ear. You that to me is an amazing ability that I'm flabbergasted
I'm
by.
as baffled by it as well. You know, because it's very strange. I can play Debussy and read a book at the same time.
At the same time.
Yeah. I did that once in a performance.
Do you see the notes in your mind?
No, I don't see. No, I see no notes.
see
I
none
see
of it?
nothing. Matter of fact, I sometimes when I'm performing, and if I like on a cruise ship, for instance, it's the beginning of a cruise, and I'll sit down and I'll just play, and I'm looking around and looking at people, and all of a sudden I come back to him. I said, "Oh, I'm playing the piano," because my hands just go. And one time at a performance in Costa Mesa, California, they paid me a lot of money. They put me on a Steinway Grand. I was playing for the opening of a conference, and people were signing up. I was in a lobby. I said, "What? I know I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer." Well, I was playing, and I got bored. They said, "Take 45 set, 15-minute break." Well, I went to the kiosk, and I bought a People magazine, and I put it in front of me, and I was...
And you were reading People magazine.
I was reading People magazine.
And they thought you were reading music.
Well, the agent came up. She said, "The client would rather you don't read the magazine." I said, "Music, a magazine. I got to read something. I'm bored." So.
One final question. You talked in the last show about the 16, 17, and 18-year-olds that are now experiencing what Liberace had to offer. What advice do you give them? Should they say, "I would love to be that next powerful musician"?
Wow. I know what I did, and I creatively visualized. I focused. You actually have to focus and find the power sources. Maintain your craft, but don't put it in a box. Open it up. And put yourself in front of people if you can, and find your way. See, if I'd stayed in Indiana, which is a wonderful town, I go back to Indianapolis. So if I'd stayed there, I went to Los Angeles, and I went in pursuit. You have to go in pursuit. You have to run after your dream. I don't care what it is. If it's this, or it's etching mirrors, anything.
That's a great recipe for all of life.
Yes, it is, and it applies.
Go after your dream.
Yes,
believe in who you are.
And that sounds sometimes flimsy and flim-flam, and but it's true. And if you can get a hold of that dream,
pursue it.
Grab it. Run after it.
Thank you very much for being with us. You've
My
been
pleasure.
Absolutely delightful as always, and I know the people over here from the Liberace fan club appreciated you. Because you bring a certain something to the plate. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you,
I do
Steve.
appreciate it. It is about finding this self, finding this power that you have within you, no matter what you want to do. It will mean the difference between success and just having a life of charity. We'll be right back, Steve.
Hello, this is Keith Evans at the Lion Habitat Ranch. We'd like you to come out and visit our ranch. There's 38 lions, a giraffe that paints, ostriches, emus, and birds. We do school tours, general admission, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and behind-the-scenes tours every day of the week. Besides coming in as general admission, you can also pay extra to help our animals, and you can feed the giraffe. You can feed one of the lions, or you can have Ozzy paint a custom canvas for you. You can also buy Ozzy paintings in the gift shop. While we do our demonstrations at 12 and 2 of Ozzy painting, all those canvases are available for purchase. In addition to everything you can do here in person, you can find us on the website, lionhabitatranch.org, where you can make your reservations online or buy your paintings online. Thank you very much. Please come.
News. In today's world, news has become even more important in our lives. Hello, I'm Steve Schorr. For some 40 years, Las Vegas has been my home, and it's been good to me. Now, I want to give back. That's why I started the Now Report, the independent voice newspaper, fair, balanced, unbiased, online and mobile, and it's free. The time has come for an independent voice because news is important.
Hi, I'm Frankie Shinta, downtown's king of entertainment. You're watching Under the Vegas Sun with Steve Schorr.
As I promised in the beginning of the show, Jerry is a very, very special entertainer, a very special individual. If you get a chance to see him, admittedly he's on a lot of cruise ships, see him, enjoy him. He's just a wonderful, wonderful talent. And his book, as we've mentioned on the program, If the Shoe Fits, Buy Two. You got to look at this because it has so many amazing memories of the man whose house, whose mansion we live in, Liberace. Until the next time, I'm Steve Schorr. Be safe and enjoy life under the Vegas sun.
This has been a presentation of VATV.